Hello, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to everyone, or Happy Holidays if you do not celebrate Christmas. Welcome to Hot Topics, sponsored by the Charger Bulletin. I'm Scott. I am the chief film editor, and it's me by myself today in my own basement because it's still winter break, and everyone at the university is once again home. Everyone's in completely different states, so I'm like, I'm just gonna still the show must go on, as they say. And I am here giving you my list of like top 10 favorite movies of the year, and talk about some other things that I really did enjoy from the year. We're gonna give you some honorable mentions. I'm gonna give you some a bunch of stuff. Before we begin with that, I just do want to say this. This list is not what I think are the um, artistically most creative or the best movies. I'm not. I'm essentially not going to be the Oscar judge for this. I'm just going off of what hit me in the bullseye specifically, and there are going to be some movies who you're not going to like. I'm actually looking at a few things right now. There's going to be a couple things that a lot of people are not going to like, but that's okay if you disagree because we all have different reasons for opinion-based stuff. So just getting that out of the way. So I hope no one's saying, but this is probably the crit. If Rotten Tomatoes says this, I'm not going by Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going by this Rotten Tomato. We're going to start off with some disclaimers of movies that I did not see that I know I should have for reasons X, Y, or Z. The main reason that life just got in the way. For a couple of these I'm looking at, finals got in the way, and then I just didn't get around to see, and there were other things that I had to get done. Those are three movies that I didn't see. Frozen, yeah, I know. The Wolf of Wall Street and 12 Years a Slave. Once again, life just got in the way. Here's the thing: I was not going to make this video until I saw Wolf of Wall Street, but I'm looking at my schedule for the rest of 2013. I'm not going to have time to go and see it for a couple days after New Year, so I didn't want to halt anything. Just the show must go on. So yeah, keep all this in mind without Frozen, Wolf of Wall Street, and 12 Years a Slave. Now, I'm going to go with some movies that I think were very underrated. Movies that I enjoyed that a lot of people didn't off the year. I'm going to start off with Now You See Me. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. My roommates did too. I had fun with it. I find the people who really wanted, who did not like this, was quite a few more people than I thought they were going to. I really walked out of this movie thinking a lot of people were going to really dig this. Surprisingly enough, they weren't. It's like, oh, that's too fake. Well, duh. It's about magicians and an illusion. But it was a really fun movie to sit down and watch, right? Because you're kind of like trying to figure the whole thing out as it's happening, and that's kind of a really fun thing to do. So I'm really happy that I saw the movie, and I do recommend it because it is a really good time. The second one is Gangster Squad. Okay, now everyone who wanted this movie everyone who did not like this movie is all like, oh yeah, well, it's not like The Godfather or anything like that. And people are trying to compare it to like The Godfather and other Scarface and other gangster movies. And the movie, it's nothing like that. It's not even on the same category. This movie is a cartoon, but I love cartoons. I walked in the movie, I'm expecting it to be a cartoon. It's a visually very beautiful movie to look at. Once again, it is very cartoony. And it's filmed that way too. And I love cartoons, so I love Gangster Squad. It's a fun time. Is it perfect? No. Do I watch it again? Yeah, I actually watched it a few times. So yeah, I'll see why not. I say go for it. Now I'm going to give my honorable mentions before I go into my actual top 10. So we're going to start off with the one that I know everyone is going to eat me up from the inside out for saying this, because this did not make my top 10. That's The Hobbit: Desolation of Smaug. There is nothing in it that I didn't like. It's as simple as that there were 10 movies that I just enjoyed a little bit better. I did not write a review for The Hobbit. We were out of school by then, and then finals, and I couldn't do it. But what did I like about The Hobbit? Oh, everything. It was a nice, fun adventure. So pumped to see Legolas, my favorite character in Middle Earth. I was very, very pumped to see that. I really have nothing else to say with it that hasn't been said already. Anything else that other people say is good, I agree. I've read all the reviews and everything. I agree, so just copy and paste that right here. I really don't have anything new to add to it. I really did enjoy it, but there's 10 movies that I just enjoyed a little bit better for reasons that I'll get into. Another one, Gravity. Did I like it? Yeah, visually, mind blown. This thing does not get an Oscar for like special effects or something like that. I have no idea. I guarantee that's gonna like win the special effects or whatever. Yeah, it was good, but did it? It did its job. You're watching it. You felt scared in it, and like to me, honestly, I wasn't even sure I was gonna see this because honestly, I was horrified by the trailers of this movie. Like, honestly, I'm telling you right now, and I don't like horror movies, so I'm not even putting it on the same plane of this movie looks too scary for me. It actually looks horrifying. I'm claustrophobic, and strangely, this is about the opposite of claustrophobia, but just that, isn't that like the ultimate fear ever? It's just like floating away, and just that's how you die. And it looked horrifying, and it was. It wasn't as impactful as I thought it was going to be. But regardless, am I going to recommend that? Oh, hell yeah, I recommend that movie. It's just, once again, 10 movies that I just liked a little bit better. Um, yeah, Now You See Me. That's another honorable mention that just missed the top 10. Gangster Squad did not come close to the top 10, but it's, once again, I said I liked it. Anchorman 2. I really did like it. It is hilarious. It has, okay, the climax battle in that is one of the funniest things I have seen in a long time in movies. I am not kidding. That is hilarious. If you have not seen Anchorman 2 yet, please go ahead. Make sure you watch the first one too. Even though it does slow down unnecessarily, um, getting into the whole lighthouse thing, and that was stupid. Take that out. The rest of the movie, I think, was pretty awesome. And the last honorable mention that just missed out the top 10 was Oz the Great and the Powerful. I think the first movie that I saw this year. But yeah, pleasant surprised. I walked in there, I'm like, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. And I watch it, I'm like, I am balls deep. I'm into this. I really enjoyed it. It's very creative. Once again, very visually satisfying. The little China girl, I'm like, I want a doll of that. She's so adorable. But yeah, I liked it. Once again, just missed out on the top 10. So yeah, now we're going to get started on the actual top 10. And come number one, I will give you also my least favorite movie of the year, so I'll say that for last. Number 10 is going to be a comedy. It's an animated movie, Despicable Me 2. This movie was just hilarious. It's just straight up slapstick, and it's hilarious. I laughed so many times, so hard in this movie, especially when they're talking about when Gru went on the date with that blonde chick. That whole sequence was laugh out loud hysterical. I absolutely loved it. So it's not a plot driven movie. It's just one of my favorite kinds. It's like one of my favorite kinds of entertainment. Just straight up slapstick and humor, and it is damn hilarious. The animation is spot on. I absolutely love this. It's like a cartoon, like put in 3D. I know, like a lot of people say that, but like it really is really in 3D animation, like a cartoon, and I absolutely love that. So yeah, that's that. Number 9 is actually a tie. Reason why? Okay, I cheated. There are these two movies that I really did enjoy a lot, but I did not like them quite as much as I liked number 8. But I didn't want to push out Despicable Me because I liked it that much, so I had to make a tie. Two movies that were quite similar: Man of Steel and The Wolverine. Why is Man of Steel not further up on this list? It's kind of beginning's kind of boring. It gets a little slow. It doesn't. It packs a punch at the end. Believe me, that packs a punch. But it just wasn't enough for me just to get a little further up on the list. But one of the things I did like about it, I did like the backstory. I did like the whole thing. It's a new take on Superman. I've talked about this before. I believe it's based off of the comic of Superman Earth 1, I think it was. And I really enjoyed the comic, and I really enjoyed this movie. I was really nervous that they weren't going to get the whole dark theme down, but they did, and they did it really well, and I applaud them. I like them. Once again, it's just like there's other movies I like before. The Wolverine, I thought was awesome until that last 20 minutes. That last 20 minutes is really what pushes in the back, because it went from really good to it's a comic book movie. And that just took me out. So I could not get over that because it as much as I like, if I could judge like the first 2/3 of this movie as just a movie, this would be like probably in like the top 5. But that end, it just pushes it back so much, and I'm sorry. But those are my two number 8s. Two number 9s, I'm sorry. My number 8 is a Marvel movie, Thor: The Dark World. I saw this movie quite a few times in the first week that it came out. I liked it an awful lot. What's not to like about it? It's Thor, and you can see my review for that, so I'm not going to go into that because I've talked about it before. But yeah, absolutely love Thor: The Dark World. Number 7 is The Fast and the Furious 6. It's straight up action, and it's straight up testosterone, and I don't see how that's a bad thing. I have a history with the Fast and the Furious franchise. That's why the passing of Paul Walker was actually kind of hit me kind of hard because I did grow up actually watching these movies. Um, I believe when the first one came out, I remember my dad bringing it home on VHS. Back when VHSs were around. And we watched it, and I've been in love with this ever since. And ever since I was little, I had a weak spot for cars. So cars are a passion of mine, and this movie did not disappoint with any of those. So Fast and Furious 6, pure testosterone, and I love it. Number 6 is a movie that I was expecting. That if you asked me at the beginning of last year what I thought would be my favorite movie at the end of this year, I would have said this would be my favorite movie. But surprisingly, it's only at number 6, which still isn't a bad thing. It's Iron Man 3. Um, I really liked it. I haven't seen this on too many top 10 lists, oddly enough. I could be a little bit biased towards Iron Man. Regardless if I'm biased or not, it still satisfied me. So I can't complain. Plot twist, first I didn't like it, but then I did. Um, After taking myself out of being that stubborn expectation person, take yourself out of it and don't have too many expectations. Do not hold this movie to the comics, or else you will be disappointed. If you understand that the movie universe is not the comic book universe, you'll have a fun time with it. He hits you from out of nowhere, and I think it's done extremely well. So I'm happy with that. I thought it was a great start to Phase 2. Um, Number 5 was Star Trek Into Darkness. God, I love this movie. This is actually the running for my favorite movie of the year up until like August, I want to say, when the rest of these movies came out. Because actually, every list above this, everything on the list above this actually came out pretty recently, or at least more recent. So this is actually the run for my favorite movie of the year. I absolutely loved it. 25 different directions. I love this. I'm not what you call a Trekkie, so I do not have like the knowledge of like this crazy over the top Star Trek fan who's completely stubborn about messing up everything. But anyway, I absolutely loved it. It was suspenseful, it was action, and I absolutely loved it. It's so great. Um, Number 4 is what is arguably based off of my childhood. Um, Pacific Rim. It's Power Rangers in adult form. I am in heaven. Enough said. Um, I can't say enough about this movie. I absolutely love this movie. It's just so awesome. Once again, um, as a Power Rangers fanboy, and especially as someone who's involved in this nerdy community, we see a lot of people who say they should make an adult Power Rangers movie. Well, they did. It's called Pacific Rim, and you can't complain. It's I don't know if it was based off Power Rangers. We just say that because of the similarities, but if it wasn't, I would be shocked if Guillermo del Toro, if I ever had a conversation with the dude and he said he had no intentions of anything from Power Rangers. I would be shocked if he said that, but still, regardless, I absolutely love this movie. I cannot say enough good things about it. Number 3 is a movie that hit you so close to home. It's Saving Mr. Banks. Oh my goodness, God! I think this entire year I have not walked out of a movie theater feeling with such a heartwarming, fuzzy, wuzzy feeling inside. It really does that, and it. I'm gonna admit this just because so many other people admit it too. Did I cry? Well, I wasn't bawling, but there was. I had to look away. I'm like, okay, don't cry. Don't cry. Look at the person next to you. Oh, she's crying. Okay, look the other. Oh, he's crying. Sure. Okay, okay. Just wipe your eyes and think of Pacific Rim, and all the tears will go away. Yeah, there's a couple moments I had to do that. Oh, but that's just a compliment though, because this movie it just hits you close to home so hard, and I was singing "Let's Go Fly a Kite" so long after that movie because once again it connects you to your childhood again. It throws you backwards and you eat it up. And I really want to make sure I go see this movie at least 2 more times before it comes out of theaters. And I will definitely get this on DVD. I absolutely am in love with this movie. Number 2 is remember when I said I got a weakness for cars? Well, I've also been a huge NASCAR fan. Even though it's not NASCAR, Formula One does come pretty close. And Rush is one hell of a movie, man. Oh my God. I went to this movie having like almost no expectations. I remember saying to myself, this is probably going to suck. Just because I just have this feeling like it's going to suck. And I walked out of the movie and it delivered spot on every way, shape, or form. It was dramatic. It hit you close to home. just the way the actual driving part was filmed, their perception of speed, it was just like awesome. But even for that, even from a storytelling perspective, there's one word that just screams this entire movie, just sums it up. It's called tension, and you really feel the tension between those two drivers, and both of them do such a phenomenal job at there. It really is deserving. Honestly, you could even flip flop this with my number one spot. I got to number one in a sec. But yeah, Rush, I absolutely recommend this to everybody. It is such a fabulous movie. Once I could be more biased because it is race cars, but I think even besides that, I know people who aren't even into racing, and they say this is actually a very good movie. So I can't be more pleased with this. Um, Before I get my number one favorite, I'm going to give you my number one least favorite, and it is a movie that I hold a personal vendetta against, and that's The Lone Ranger. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. I go off a lot about how um, one of my biggest childhood influences, just entertainment influences, was the White Ranger from the Power Rangers. Like, that's what I watched every day as a child until I went to school. And such an influence on me, and they were like my idols on TV. The Lone Ranger was that for my father. And naturally, I've seen a lot of John Wayne, a lot of Gene Autry, a lot of that in my day growing up, and I still do with my me and my father sit down and watch all the time. But just the fact that the Lone Ranger is my father's superhero, and what they did to that, I just had that emotional connection. As soon as I found out they were making this movie, I'm like, okay, Disney, you screw this up, I will hurt you. And to say they screwed it up is one of the biggest understatements ever. We all know how bad this movie was, and if I could punch someone in Disney for the face, I definitely would. But well, once again, it's a movie. Is it really worth getting worked up over? I say yes, but really no. So I'm just, it's a dark place I wish to never ever go again. And my number one favorite movie of the year, I would not have believed you if you told me at the beginning of this year, Scott, this is going to be your favorite movie of the year. I would not have believed you, but it is, and that is the ever so suspenseful and gut wrenching, gripping Catching Fire. I cannot say enough about this movie. I enjoyed the first one, yes, and then the second one came out, and I left this here. I'm like, please show me the next one right now. Oh my god, I was with a couple friends who were watching that. All of us, we were getting out of our seats. We were talking actual gut wrenching suspense. Oh my god, I am saying this about Hunger Games. Oh my god, I can't. I must have been injected with estrogen or something. But it is really that good. I can't, once again, I cannot believe I'm saying this about Hunger Games, but it really is that good. If you want just a great movie, go watch it. Jennifer Lawrence puts up a bone chilling and stunning performance in this, and I can't say enough about it. So that's my favorite. So yeah, I'm just gonna recap for you guys. Going from 10 to 1. Despicable Me 2. Number 9, Man of Steel / The Wolverine. Number 8, Thor the Dark World. Number 7, Fast and Furious 6. Number 6, Iron Man 3. Number 5, Star Trek Into Darkness. Number 4, Pacific Rim. Number 3, Sam Mr. Banks. Number 2, Rush. And number 1, Catching Fire. That's all I got. I may do one more video just before we go back to school for the semester, just because there's a couple of things I may want to talk about, just in regards to 2014. Come on, some other stuff in general. But that's what I got. Give me your list down below. I'll probably check out a lot of your videos too. So, yeah, once again, I hope everyone had a nice holiday and a very happy new year to all of you.